Dirty Pat inspired me. He did a video today, tremolo harmonicas, and it sounded really cool. And I was gonna mess around with one myself because I have one. I haven't touched it in a while. But I remember I did one a while ago on this Hero harmonica. It's right here. I got it. Oh, around the redwood trees. I think I mentioned. Well, they got a place on the California-Oregon border. You can drive to a big fat redwood tree. Beautiful tree. Anyway, they sold this harmonicas there for some odd reason. I don't know what I paid for it, but and I don't know. It's just an interesting harmonica, but I can't really make much sense of it. But then I just tried it, and I just wanted to see if I could remember what I did. I'm just trying this new light too, by the way, in a little bit of trying to figure out the best focus. And okay. Okay, that sounds kind of I wonder if I can do anything resembling blues or something on it. I don't know. Well, I'm gonna be late, I know today. I'm gonna be late, I know today. I've got something I must do, and ain't nothing talking to you. I don't wanna talk about it. Well, I don't wanna say much about it. No, I just wanna keep it to myself. I've got these plans to make, and it doesn't include anyone else. I know what I must do. Well, I know I must come up to you. I must pass you finally one day and tell you, darling, what's really on my mind. Well, I won't be on time today. I've got to stop somewhere and pray. I've got to praise his ball. Well, I need the courage to go that far. I need the courage in Ace's bar. To finally face you and tell you who you are. After 3 pints of gin, 2 shots of vodka, 3 kamikazes, 4 old fashions, I should be able to say just what's on my mind. Alright, doesn't exactly sound like blues, but it is made in China. It was? I don't know. Dirty Pat Walsh knows. He told me. I don't know. What's a funny little thing? See, it's got all these reeds on it. I don't know how many. I'd have to ask Pat. He knows how many reeds they are. I'm not going to count them. But there's a lot of them. Let's see. What else? What about Cajun type stuff? I'll tell you, I'm missing my auto valve harp. That, I'm going to get a couple of those or one more of those. And that is really fun for Cajun music. It sounds like the same thing. A tremolo would be better for that. But what about... to. Well, I better leave it alone at Dixie. And that goes out to my red rum down in Birmingham. Oh, I shouldn't say that. England, wherever he's at. Red rum. Because I know I can say South. I'm from the edge of the South. The school I graduated from was Jeff Stewart. But don't think that I'm all pro-Confederate. No, I think they were wrong. I don't believe in slavery. I don't believe we'd have been better off if the South had won. A lot of people, some people do. My neighbors did in Virginia growing up. They were from Texas and Kentucky, Colonel Sailor. And they all thought the South should have won the war. In fact, they made fun of me because I was born in Washington, D.C., across the river. They were born in Alexandria, Virginia, across the river. And I was a Yankee compared to them, who were true Southerners. But it didn't matter that I came back to Virginia at 3 days old. Whatever. However, I love the song. And even Abraham Lincoln wanted to appropriate the song for the North, actually. Because it's a great song. And whatever's going on with social change and changing names and stuff, sure, I understand there's a time and a place. But, I mean, I don't know. It's just maybe people making, well, history's strange. And so I suppose that the high school I graduated from was called Jeb Stuart High School. And I know it was a Confederate raider and all that. And a lot of schools in my county were from Southern generals and things, the Fairfax Rebels and things. But, and all the Southern names around there, Jeff Davis Highway and things, Robert E. Lee Highway. I don't think anybody was making a hero out of those people, but it was where they lived and dealt with things. On the other hand, I suppose in trying to erase that wrong of segregation and to try to create a better life between all of us, I suppose if it means changing the names of places that had historical fact. And what about Gallows Road, for instance? Now, I don't know if they changed that, but Gallows Road in Virginia, where I was, that'll be interesting to find that out. Now, Gallows Road was where slaves or whatever that were supposed to be hung. It's not called Gallows Road for no reason, you know. But I wonder if they're changing that just because it begins with a G and it's nothing to do with a Confederate general or. Oh, I wonder if I'm gonna catch some heat on this thing. Look, I'm not pro-Southern. I do like history though, and I respect the people that fought for that, for what they perceived as their sovereign rights to have what they thought. I'm talking about the common soldier. I think they fought for what they believed, that they didn't want to be controlled by anyone that they didn't. They were from the. Oh man, I'm sorry about this. I didn't mean to get into this, but I gotta finish it because I put myself in this hole. again, I am not for pro-Southern, wish that the South had won, the South would rise again. None of that stuff, no. But I'm just saying, I think your average soldier, barefoot soldier, Confederate soldier, fought for for his family, and for the fact that he believed that he didn't feel that the North had the right to invade his countryside, because most of the war was fought in the South. And I'm no expert in the Civil War, but that much I know. And he was protecting what but I don't think he was thinking in terms of like, well, we want to protect our slaveholding rights for the super teeny bit of percentage of people that held slaves. In fact, I think maybe most, I don't know the percentage on that, so I'm not going to say. But I certainly, I'm not saying that those people didn't believe that either, that they didn't believe in slavery. They were fighting on the cause of a wrong cause. And it was inherent that slavery would be part of of the South had won. That would be part of it, at least for a while, for years. And that's just plain wrong. I mean, and you could go back hundreds of years and say any of that was wrong. From the Europeans that traded the slaves, from the tribes in India, in Africa or other places that brought other slaves from other tribes to the white people to sell them to them. I mean, it goes way back, thousands and thousands of years. But in our country, the stain of slavery is still inherent from just 150 years ago, which is not that long ago. I mean, I met my great grandmother in the early 60s, and she was about in her early 90s. She was born in 1865. That's the year slavery was abolished. So I actually met somebody that was born in the year that slavery was abolished. So really, that's not that long ago. So there's a whole lot of more years and more strife we got to go through in this country to erase what. And of course, slavery was north too. It wasn't just in the south, and 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 it was in the border states like Maryland, big time slave state. So, but basically, I'm saying that the common soldier, Confederate soldier, I believe, uh, fought for his family and himself, and his little farm or whatever. I don't think they necessarily fought because they believed in slavery, but some certainly did. And of course, the more aristocratic thing, that's just not right. No matter how, it wasn't romantic. It was brutal. I mean, overseers. And I just read Uncle Tom's Cabin about a year ago, and it's a great book, and I didn't realize how great it was. And it might be a little melodramatic to places, but highly recommend that. I mean, but no matter how close, like if Uncle Tom, okay, that's where somebody refers to an Uncle Tom, oh, he's an Uncle Tom. And there was a guy like that at school I went to Georgia with, and 3 other African Americans at school besides him said, oh, someone's choice that Uncle Tom. Okay, what makes an Uncle Tom is the guy that kisses ass to white people. Okay, so Uncle Tom, that's the name it came from. But when I read the book, I didn't perceive him as being what his namesake was to other people. I found him to be a pretty strong character in many ways and a wonderful person. But he wasn't a pet, he was a man. And, that's kind of what they make him out to be. And he was sold in a crummy way. And he should never have been sold in the first place. But let me tell you something else. This is how things have changed now. When I was 15 years old, there were 4 black kids at school in Georgia with me, at a school I went to that was originally for Appalachian Mountain kids who work part of the year and go to school part of the year. And this was in 1971. And there were these 4 black kids. And, excuse me, I need a rate for this one. So, the thing is that there's these 4 black kids going to school. Gary Hill, Dennis Shropshire, George Camp, and Troy, I forgot his name. Down Uncle Tom. But anyway, probably wouldn't want me to mention his last name. Anyways, I got to be friends with all of them. I remember Gary. Sounds ridiculous. I got to be friends with all of them. Well, I got to be friends with different people, and they among them. It was a weird year. Somebody got killed in a hunting accident. The school burnt down. It was far up into the mountains, the northwest Georgia mountains. And my snakes, I had 3 pet snakes. The last snakes I had, they got killed in that fire, and I was dragged. The winds blew bad. The whole area would have been scorched. But anyway, so here's my point. Okay, a couple things. I met Gary's father when he brought him to school. He was overalls, Georgia farmer, and I don't know how he got to school. I think he might have been on a scholarship, but he really worked hard. He was very well liked, and I'm talking about Georgia in 1971, 72, where the John Birch Society welcomes you to Rome, Georgia, and then further on is Mount Berry, Georgia, where we went to school. Okay, so I caught a ride back to school with George Camp's family. When I went to Atlanta once, or a few times, I would go to Atlanta off and on, about 70 miles away. And I mean, nobody really thought anything about it. Is what I'm trying to say. Nobody said, "Oh, these are black people," and and these are white people, and they were there, integrated into the school. Okay, nobody. I never heard the N word one time directed towards those people. Um, Not one damn time. And so I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm just saying the little isolated thing I'm talking about. Okay, the school burns down and the fire alarms go off in our dorms, and we see what's going on. And Gary Hill is running down the hallway and he's screaming, "My education, my education, my education is burning up." And other people are yelling, "Burn, baby, burn!" This was the early 70s. You know how kids are. Vietnam War was going on. "Burn, baby, burn!" And then this guy, in fact, was yelling it next to me. And then he looked at me and goes, "Oh, your snakes are in there, huh?" I said, "Yep, 3 California Rosie Boys." And he goes, "Sorry." "Burn, baby, burn!" All right. So now Gary was a junior and I was a sophomore. And the junior, we went to school, by the way, the rest of the year. Just that school burned, the administration building burnt down, everything in the classrooms. But then we went to school in a dorm, senior dorm in the lower part. So anyway, the junior high school class, they do these, raise money for dances or whatever. And it's like they had, this sounds a bit crazy. Okay, they had this thing, slave for a day. All right, you could buy any. Different people volunteered to be slaves, but Gary was among them, and I got to be pretty good friends with him, And I said, "Gary, I'm gonna buy you." And looking at me like, "Son of a bitch." And I said, "Yep, I'm gonna get me a hat, a big tall hat, and tail, whatever those things are, jacketing with the tail things in the back. I'm gonna buy you." No. Okay, well I did. Like $5. He's like, "I'm not gonna go in you. No way in hell. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that for real, yeah, slavery was there just 105 years around that time ago. 1971, 72. Yeah, 100, let's make it even. 110 years ago. Well, 105. Oh, okay, 110. There, in Georgia. Now, I know that's a pretty long time, but I'm just saying that this whole thing of it's good we're being more socially aware. It's good we're being more wanting to change names of places that reflect a stain of all the bad things that we've done, because we've done a whole lot of bad things in this country, but we've also done a lot of good things. We can't take back what we've done, but we can only go forward and recognize those wrongs and somehow give restitution. Gary, I don't remember if he wound up hanging with me that day. He was a lousy slave, and I gave him his indentured papers earlier, whatever they call it. So you can have a little fun in a weird situation. There's nothing funny about slavery, but you know, life is way too short to take everything so damn seriously. Now, slavery should be taken seriously, don't get me wrong. But a junior high school class, and Gary wanted to do that. I mean, he wasn't thinking, oh, this is odd. You know, my great grandfather my grandfather may be a slave, and now I'm volunteering to be a slave to him. No, I didn't volunteer. I'm not going to go with him, anyways. But wherever the hell he wound up, I don't think he was thinking historical things. I think he was just thinking about goofing with the junior class and making some money for their dance. So, I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm trying to say finally to end this thing. I didn't mean to do this. Is that it's like I know we got to take things real seriously that are bad. I know they got to be dealt with, but at the same time, I guess for the risk of getting some criticism about this, I guess I just got to say, lighten up. Life is way short. Believe me, man. I never expected to be what my age. I thought I'd stay 27 forever. So lighten up, y'all, and have a fine day. Morning, night, evening, wherever you are. And let's see. Good night, y'all.